President Cyril Ramaphosa has arrived in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. The president will be attending the ASEAN summit on Sunday. Wrapping up his three-nation tour, the last stop is Malaysia. He is carrying the same message that South Africa is open for business. Here, he also emphasizes the need for developing countries to work together. Let's go to that now.
Complained to the International Court of Justice, a move that you have supported us in, much as it has been risky and fraught with a lot of opposition. But we thank you for acknowledging that it was a courageous move on our part, and we will continue to seek justice for the people of Palestine, like the world sought to see justice for us as South Africans when they also went to the United Nations to declare apartheid a crime against humanity. And we, seeing the genocide that is unfolding in Gaza, saw fit that we should act in the same way that the world acted when they opposed apartheid. And we count you as one of those countries that joined in the opposition against apartheid and also against what is happening in Gaza. We together engage in a number of multilateral forums where at a diplomatic level we work together, and we obviously want to deepen that. And our pull-aside meeting in Brazil led to this rekindling of the relationship between South Africa and Malaysia. And we agreed that we need to strengthen our relations as we strengthen the South-South relations at a global level. And we also discussed how South Africa, as being part of the AU and SADC, can be closely linked to ASEAN. And in this regard, we would like to thank you for inviting South Africa to participate in the ASEAN summit, which we are grateful for. And we are really pleased that in the spirit of friendship and cooperation between our two nations, you have agreed to honor us with your presence at the G20 summit, which takes place next month in Johannesburg in South Africa. And we await to welcome you there together with the business delegation that you are going to bring, which will help to solidify our relations at a trade and investment level. And our ministers are going to be fully engaged in crafting memoranda of understanding in a number of areas, in defense, in trade and industry, in agriculture, in areas such as halal foods, and so forth. So we need to upgrade the trade between our two countries. Where we are trading now, the level is just too low. We need to upgrade it to a much higher level. And Prime Minister, in extending the friendship and cooperation between us, I wish to extend to you an invitation to visit South Africa at a state-level visit in 2026. So your visit to South Africa now for the G20 it's just the warming up process. So I want you to come in a full-blown visit to South Africa, and we will be honored to welcome you to the most beautiful country in the world, South Africa. But having come to Malaysia for the first time, I now see that South Africa has competition. Malaysia is also beautiful. So you join the ranks of the most beautiful countries in the world. So thank you for welcoming me to Malaysia.
Thank you, Your Excellency President. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we will now open the floor for a question from our media representative. In the interest of time, we will allow only one question to be answered by both leaders.
Good.
May we have the first question from the floor?
Yeah, one question.
One question. Yeah.
South Africa plays an active role in the G20 presidency. Chair and your active role in BRICS, what are the avenues of cooperation and collaboration that both groupings are looking at to have a more balanced world economic model?
Okay. Well, the fact that we are both fortunate countries to be leading ASEAN and us to be leading the G20, and where we are both as countries involved in various engagements, and I've heard that leading up to the ASEAN summit, there have been more than 250 meetings that your ministers have engaged in. We've also had a similar type of involvement, more than 130 meetings that have encompassed many, many people from various parts of the world. And during those engagements, we have noticed that we are able to extend cooperation across many countries in a number of areas, be it on policy matters, social policy, issues like climate change, issues like, in our case, dealing with national debt issues, national issues like how climate change challenges can be funded and how the cost of capital can be brought down. So all those areas that there's been collaboration in, South Africa has been given leadership. And similarly, I think Malaysia has also been giving leadership in those areas. And most of what we've been focused on is to improve the lives of our people, but to also extend trade and investment. So through these platforms, be it in BRICS, be it in the G20, and be it also in the G7, where we are invited quite often. And even at the UN level, we want to create a better world at the social level, at the economic level, for the peoples of various countries to lead a better life. So we focus on all those issues, but principally on how through economic policies, trade policies, we can improve the lives of people. So that has been the main area of focus for our involvement in those structures. And in the main, our involvement has been quite effective, much as we are a small country of just 62 million people, being in the south of the African continent, far away from many markets, but our involvement at the global level has been quite impactful. And in the recent past, South Africa's stature has been raised, and our voice is heard in many places on various areas that affect the lives of people, economic, social, and otherwise. So it's been an honor for us to be part of the G20 and to be part of BRICS and to participate in various other forums. Thank you.
To follow up on the assertions by the President, I would say that Malaysia is essentially a trading nation. And we believe the globalization and multilateral arrangements. And to affect this change, we have to open up new markets. So, of course, the fundamental concern and priorities, of course, economic collaboration. But in this polarized setting, we realize that discussions should extend to other areas, culture, the arts, research, education, and more so about the essential sentiments and aspirations to protect human dignity and honor. With President Ramaphosa, we discussed this, that there is clearly a deficit in terms of among the political leaders in terms of protecting honor, dignity, and the lack of compassion. So other than trading arrangement, which we have to open up, because Malaysia, for example, cannot be totally dependent on a few countries. The market is expanding, the economy is growing, and to ensure our own survival, then we take very pragmatic, practical measures to enhance intra-ASEAN trade, collaborate further effectively with within the region Asia. But I realize, therefore, in this globalized world, we have to secure friends, particularly friends that share a common vision, common ideals, and that's why when I was because I believe in them, and I express the same sentiments with their leaders, so South Africa and Brazil. And I'm so happy, of course, and delighted with my colleagues that they are here. And from here, we move further. But again, the test is not in these meetings. The test is whether we can concretize and execute what we have decided. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister, and your
All right, those were live visuals coming to you from Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. You heard there from the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Anwar Ibrahim, alongside President Cyril Ramaphosa. President Ramaphosa in Malaysia as part of a multi-country tour of countries in Southeast Asia. He was in Jakarta a few days ago in Indonesia. Then he was in Hanoi in Vietnam just a couple of days ago, and now in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Also there to attend as well the ASEAN summit, the 20th ASEAN summit. They were exchanging pleasantries really and not delving into the issues to any great length, but you did hear President Ramaphosa appreciating the bilateral relationship between the two countries and also talking about Malaysia's support for South Africa's case against Israel at the International Court of Justice. There's lots to come from there. Look out for more reporting on that story throughout the day and in the coming days indeed here on SABC News.